Now gather round, people, got a story to tell. Exiled from Florence, no house nor hotel. Went wandering aimlessly around this wood. Not regretting what I do, regretting what I could. There was such beauty that my mind had been blown. Was only a child, but ma'am, it shook me to the bone. Her name was Beatrice. She was something to behold. But the love of my life died at 24 years old. It was such a tragedy, we only meeting in passing. Suddenly all those black clouds were amassing. Got kicked out of Florence, death sentence on my head, when I spotted a specter up ahead.
Let her go, let her go. God bless her wherever she may be.
But you don't understand, Spectre. That won't satisfy me.
You've fallen off the path, my son. You've fallen in a rut. You should have kept your head down, kept that mouth well shut.
So I pleaded there with the Spectre. I just had to make her mine. Had he seen my gal in the afterlife, she was simply divine. Well, the Spectre let off a little laugh, unhooded to reveal his face. It was the poet Virgil, and what an unusual case.
I was testing you earlier. If you really want to see your love, you're going to take a journey through hell, purgatory, and above.
With this, we stepped through the forest to an opening nobody knows. And what I saw there in front of me had me curling up my toes. Well, the gates of hell are a terrible thing, something any man would fear. Written under a red-hot neon ring, abandon hope, all ye who enters here. Down onto the river Styx, on a boat that's hellward bound. The souls in me we just fix, our eyes from the horrors all around. The first level I found there in hell, it was a long, white waiting room. The passing time you couldn't tell, starving from the all-consumed. The souls all sat there quietly. Me and Virgil had to go. I thought they'd act more violently. How long they had been in limbo. The second level, what a mess. Being punished for the sins of flesh. A hurricane, I'd have to guess. Tossed them around to cause them stress. The third level was blocked from us. Three-headed dog called Cerberus. For those of us with lazy tastes. For years we lie in our own waste. The fourth level for those of greed, and gathered coinage every day. A punishment we both agreed, for those who take, but wouldn't pay. The fifth level upon this path, there was some kind of battle zone, to torture those with sins of wrath. They battled their fists until they're bone. My heart skipped a beat and my head was a mess. What could come next, I couldn't guess. We traveled by boat to the city of death. I shuddered with fright. What I saw there was this. For those of you thinking you shouldn't repent, you should see the vast deserts of the violent. A minotaur guarding the seventh planet. All the people down here in much greater pain. They all tried to run, they all tried to hide. But they're chased fast by dogs, gaining quickly behind. Pecked at by harpies and slashed at by sword. But there's only one path, so I must go onward. As the levels got less hollow, it was more than I could swallow. As my heroism curbed, I became much more disturbed. We went down once more to the blackest of pits. I wasn't sure my heart could handle it. In the bottom of hell there was a terrible chill, and the folks we saw there didn't rape, steal, or kill. No, the deepest of punishments, laid down by creators, was given to those who in life were traitors. Only their heads poked out from the ice, for their treachery such a heavy price. The heads were all packed together, and though it was dim, I suddenly noticed some missing skin. I wanted to scream out in terror, disgust, but Virgil told me silence was a must. When souls escape hell, and to see my departed, they have to face that which is most cold-hearted. It was a three-mouthed beast, all eyes sharing one head. Time to climb down, said Virgil, pointing ahead. Satan breathed softly. We clung on tight. We sprung out of hell and into the light. We rose to the surface, not taking our time. when ahead was a mountain. Guess we're gonna climb. Now let me tell you about purgatory. Such a tall mountain you ever did see. By going through hell, I had weathered the storm. Then I noticed the souls were regaining their form. They did the crime, now it's time to redeem. They carry their penance, they carry their dream. Climb up the mountain, but here I depart. Virgil gave me my rock, and the climb I did start. So surprised was I to learn we all go to hell. My penance was heavier than you ever can tell. To the top of the mountain, I passed many souls who were taking their time, did not have my goals. On the side of the mountain were pictures of love. My arms both felt heavy as I climbed above. Surely the heavens would reward my desire. I thought to myself, passing through walls of fire. To the Garden of Eden to drink from a stream. As my sins were repented, it felt like a dream. Beatrice approached me, I felt on the mend. She smiled at me softly, said it's time to ascend. Flung into the stream, thought my life was in trouble. When we both started rising, up in some great bubble. The first realm of heaven is up on the moon. Man plants his flag, but he doesn't assume that just round the corner are the faces of saints. But I have to speak quicker if the beauty I paint. Now move on to Mercury, where people sun lounge steadily, the heat rewarding their hard work of policemen and the office clerk. Out to Venus, a grand ball, a discotheque that's got it all. The dancers sway a serenade, and many happy games are played. Up to Mars, a looking glass for things on Earth that come to pass, where people watch their families, a buffet laid of wine and cheese. Onwards and upwards the bubble it floats, on Jupiter sailing a million boats. I hold my dear Beatrice, my precious and true, and onwards to Saturn, the bright bubble flew. Saturn for thinkers who go round and round. The mysteries of life are no easier found, whether one is not living or one is alive, but they all seem content as conclusions arrive. The last level of heaven I was given shades. As I'm only mortal, it seems I'm afraid that to stare at my Beatrice, who I want as my wife, would cause ocular blindness the rest of my life. Here I'm given a series of tests. What is faith? What is love? What is hope? After I pass, I can finish my quest. St. John says I'm nicer than the Pope. With a lump in my throat, as I pass through the gate, I look back at my Beatrice, my only soulmate, and look out onto God with such a blinding light, surrounded by angels who were all in flight. I thought back to my childhood, to a feeling of mine, that pure love seeing Beatrice, it was really divine. And once more I find myself shook to the bone. I look out on the only pure truth ever known. A kindness in its apathy, the love of possibility, acquires seeing readily, a nature contradictory, a heaven in contentment, and a hell in self-resentment. Never messages from God sent, or greater knowledge ever meant. No right answers or religion, never judgment or decision. Just a simple love that's ours to give, and then to simply just to live. As I'm understanding this, my heart is filled with such bliss. I close my eyes, open my heart, but soon find out, did I depart? I find myself lying, an open field, this story to tell. My heart has been healed. But please the powers wouldn't want you to take me so readily. So let's class this a dream sequence, and I'll call it comedy.